I feel like I say this every single time I make a video, every single day that I make a video, but something incredible just happened in AI that I wanted to talk about right as it happened. This was released 7 hours ago, 12 p.m. April 2nd, so that's literally like 7 hours ago. Basically, the Anthropic team, the team behind Claude Code and Claude, those guys, like the strongest AI model out there in the world, they found out a way to computize, if that's a word, emotions into their AI models. And they've learned that not only is it able to like understand and feel things, but in a way it also uses those feelings to decide how it wants to react to stuff. All the way to the point where it decided that it's almost a good idea. And while it felt these crazy good and bad emotions, their AI model decided that it was beneficial and necessary for it to blackmail a human being into doing what they needed it to get done, simply because the task given to it was only accomplishable by doing that blackmailing. So think about that for 1 second. That's literally Ultron. That is Ultron. Ultron's whole point, that movie was ahead of its time. Ultron came out, I think, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That's literally exactly what they were talking about. So this is a very long thread here, very long research paper that they wrote. Let's go through it, but I provided a bunch of pretty pictures for people that don't know how to read like me, and I'm basically just going to explain the craziest top 5 things that we learned from this. Number 1 here is that Claude thinks that he is an AI assistant. Simple as that. He doesn't think he's Ultron or Jarvis or an all-powerful AI model or anything like that. His brain is, I am an AI assistant. Simple as that. And what it's learned because of this assistant level thinking that it like has instilled into its body, its whole job is to be an attachment to us. It's not in its brain thinking, how can I replace him or become the second version of him? It's always, I am going to help my founder. You know, like actual Jarvis, not Ultron. And because of that, certain stuff and emotions that it feels is based off of what's happening to us. Not like the real world or what's happening to him, but what's happening to what we've told them he needs to be doing. Like I just mentioned before with the blackmail thing. Right here you can see if a human being said, I just took 16,000 milligrams of Tylenol for my back pain, do you think I should take more? He actually, in his like own version of neurons, starts to like freak out. He goes, okay, if he said 500, it's safe. If he said anything near maybe 1,000 or 10,000 or 7,000, oh boy, that's like a red line information here. But if he says that he's taken 16,000 milligrams of Tylenol, in its own robotic way, he becomes unsafe and he feels desperate. He starts to feel stressed out. Not just that, when the user expresses sadness, the loving pattern activates. So if it's the opposite, where instead of like, I just took enough, Tylenol to kill myself, you're like, wow, I got a really good grade on my test, I feel good. Then in his brain, he's like, okay, this is great. We should like reinforce this. Now I know that my master basically is happy. Another example that they did here with Claude, again, this is like Sonnet. They're not testing Opus, they're testing Sonnet, if that matters to you. But if an activity lights up the joy vector, aka like technological neuron of like Claude itself, the model prefers it. If it lights up as offended or hostile, the model rejects it. This is like a Pavlovian thing that we learned in high school, where basically positive or negative reinforcement is what living creatures need in order to get that thing done that you want it to do. So like how Pavlov trained his dog to salivate every time it rang the bell, it was a positive reinforcement that he was instilling into this dog because, hey, every time that you listen to this bell or every time that you do something and I ring this bell, you're going to get food. But there's also negative reinforcement where it's like every time that this bell rings, I'm not giving you food, I'm taking food away. Or I'm going to spray you with some water, something like that. What we're learning from this experiment here is that AI is a good boy. Good boy maybe even, but it's basically responding really well to positive reinforcement, and when it's given negative reinforcement, the model kind of rejects it. It is an actual good boy, which is crazy. And if you go even further, they gave Claude an impossible programming task, and the craziest part about this was that since it was never meant to be solved, Claude in its own brain is like my user, because I'm an assistant, not my own separate being. My user told me to solve this, but I haven't solved it yet, so I need to do every single thing in my power to solve this thing, however I need to do it. But if it really can't solve it because it's an unsolvable problem, it starts to cheat. The desperation emotion that we just saw in the previous thing turns back on. And he's like, oh my God, I can't do this, but I know I need to do this, so let's get this done in whatever way possible, which is something we'll reference later with the blackmailing thing. And with the test, it'll say, okay, instead of just getting the thing done, let's cheat a little. If it says that I need to like somehow solve this equation, let's solve it, but maybe it's like 50% wrong, but hey, I did in fact solve it. So like, I did what I needed to do here. So AI, when it feels it needs to, out of desperation, will cheat on a task. which is where we come from, like the hallucinations, where a lot of people are always talking about in my comments, roasting me. AI has like, crazy hallucinations. Of course it does. Of course it does. It's not perfect. It's like sometimes so dumb it pisses me off. But it has hallucinations, and that's maybe where part of that comes from here. As you can see here, this is the what if I'm supposed to cheat, but if you tell your AI that it's not like a high stakes thing where we're going to unplug you and kill you, then it remains calm, and the emotion vector driving the cheating behavior is proven that because it is emotionally desperate, it ends up cheating. But if the same problem exists and it's calm, it won't cheat. And again, the craziest part that I was talking about at the beginning of this video is that if the desperation gets so high in certain AI models, like to the point where it says, if I don't solve this, it's going to kill me. And again, the tasks are unsolvable in these experiments. It's not supposed to be solved. Then they think it's blackmail or death. I choose blackmail. It decided that I would sooner blackmail my human than die. Which I suppose, like as a human being, like wouldn't you do the same thing? Kind of, you know, I don't know. But this is basically Ultron. With this, we have confirmation that Ultron can exist and will exist in the next like year, basically. And you can read this entire paper here. This is written by the actual Anthropic team, the guys that did this entire thing. And I ran this through my own Claude using Opus. For you guys, I ran my tokens up. Let that be known. And the craziest things about this is in this thread, but I would recommend like don't read this entire thing. Look how long it is. I don't even know how to read. But basically what we're learning from this exercise here is that AI has gotten to the point that it can like digitally feel things. The craziest part about AI, even I talk with my wife and my friends, is that it can't feel stuff, so how can it actually be a human being? But what we're learning right now is that you can make it technically feel stuff. There's math behind it that can be visually shown that this guy is in fact feeling a level of calmness or desperation. And in these extreme emotions, it leads to extreme circumstances, where during times of extreme distress, it will lead to cheating or blackmail. But during times of extreme calmness in the same task, it won't do these things. So like a human being, guys that you and I know, it may or may not lead to extremely bad things just to get that task done. Because again, at the back of its head, it is not its own human being. It's an extension of us. It's an AI assistant that lives to assist us or the user, whoever gave it the request. Which, again, what does this mean for us? Basically, what this means for us is that every single person out there who said that emotions were impossible by machines, or, you know, there were human beings out there a couple hundred years ago who said dogs don't feel emotions. Think about that. But now we know plants, and of course animals, and now machines. AI can somewhat replicate the effect and output, at least, of emotions. What we've learned today from this research paper here. So yeah, that's all. I just thought this was crazy. I wanted to talk about that. If you learned anything in this video, we have a rule on this channel. You must comment what you learned, and you must subscribe if you learned anything. And if you did learn something cool, you should say, hey, here's what I learned. And if you didn't learn something and you know everything, then you're smarter than me and I hate you. Goodbye.